Imagine you decide today that you want to become a programmer. You search online for the best programming language to learn, and suddenly you are faced with Python, JavaScript, Java, C++, C#, Go, PHP, Swift, Kotlin, and dozens of other languages. Now you're probably asking yourself, which one should I learn? Which language has the most job opportunities? Which one is best for artificial intelligence? Which one is best for web development? And most importantly, which programming language will still be valuable in the future? In this video, we are counting down the top 10 programming languages you should consider learning in 2020-6. We will look at what each language is used for, why developers use it, and who should consider learning it. And make sure you stay until the end, because I will also explain which programming language I recommend for beginners, web developers, artificial intelligence developers, and future software engineers. Let's get started. Number 10. Go. Starting our list at number 10 is Go, also known as Golang. Go was created at Google and was designed with a simple goal. To make software development simple, fast, and scalable. Unlike some older programming languages, Go has a relatively simple syntax, but do not let that simplicity fool you. Go is extremely powerful. It is widely used for backend systems, cloud infrastructure, networking, application programming interfaces, DevOps tools, and distributed applications. One of the reasons developers love Go is its performance. Go also has excellent support for concatency. In simple terms, concurrency allows a program to handle multiple operations efficiently at the same time. This makes Go especially useful for modern cloud-based systems and applications that need to handle many users and requests. Go is also popular in the DevOps and cloud computing world. Many developers use it to build command line tools, infrastructure software, networking systems, and services that need to be fast and reliable. If you want to work in cloud computing, backend development, DevOps, or distributed systems, Go is definitely worth considering. However, Go is not necessarily the best choice if your goal is front-end development, mobile application development, or machine learning. But for backend and cloud engineering, Go is an extremely strong option. Number 9. Swift. At number 9, we have Swift. Swift is Apple's programming language. It is primarily used to develop applications for the iPhone, iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, and other Apple platforms. Before Swift, Apple developers primarily used Objective-C. Swift was designed to provide a more modern and developer-friendly programming experience. One of its biggest advantages is readability. Swift allows developers to write clean and expressive code while still providing strong performance. It also includes features designed to make applications safer and reduce common programming errors. If you want to become an iOS developer, Swift is one of the most important languages you can learn. The Apple ecosystem is huge, and millions of users rely on applications built for Apple's platforms. And mobile applications continue to be an important part of the technology industry. So who should learn Swift? If your goal is to build iPhone applications, iPad applications, or software for Apple's ecosystem, Swift should be high on your list. But if you are interested in artificial intelligence, web development, or general backend development, there are other languages that may be more useful. Number 8. Kotlin. At number 8 is Kotlin. Kotlin is a modern programming language that runs on the Java virtual machine. One of its biggest strengths is its relationship with Java. Kotlin can work with existing Java code, which makes it especially valuable for developers working with large Java ecosystems. Kotlin became particularly important in Android development. Today, it is one of the major languages used for modern Android application development. If you are building Android applications, Kotlin is one of the most important languages to know. But Kotlin is not limited to mobile development. It can also be used for backend applications, application programming interfaces, enterprise software, and multi-platform applications. One of Kotlin's Biggest advantages is its concise syntax. This means developers can often accomplish the same task with less code compared with some older languages. Kotlin also includes modern features that can make software development more convenient and safer. If you are interested in Android development, Kotlin is an excellent choice. And if you are already familiar with Java, learning Kotlin can be relatively straightforward. Number 7. C#. Number 7 is C#, pronounced C#. C# was created by Microsoft and has become one of the most important languages in the Microsoft development ecosystem. It is used for web applications, desktop software, enterprise applications, cloud services, and perhaps most famously, video games. C# is heavily associated with the Unity game engine. Unity has been used to create thousands of games across mobile devices, personal computers, consoles, and other platforms. But game development is only one part of the C# ecosystem. C# is also widely used with Microsoft's .NET platform for building web applications, APIs, desktop software, cloud services, and business applications. One major advantage of C# is its mature ecosystem and powerful development tools. It is also a popular choice for companies that use Microsoft technologies. So, who should learn C#? If you are interested in game development, Microsoft technologies, enterprise applications, or backend development with .NET, C# is a very practical language. Number 6. C++. At number 6 is C++. C++ is one of the oldest languages on our list, but it remains incredibly important. Why? Because C++ gives developers a high level of control over computer hardware and system resources. It is used in game engines, operating systems, web browsers, embedded systems, high-performance applications, financial systems, robotics, and graphics software. Many technologies that require extreme performance rely on C++. And here is something important: learning C++ can teach you concepts that higher-level languages often hide from you. Things like memory management, pointers, data structures, performance optimization, and how computers actually execute software. This can give developers a deeper understanding of what is happening inside a computer. However, C++ can be challenging. It is not usually the language I would recommend as the first language for someone who has never programmed before. But if you want to become a serious systems developer, game developer, embedded systems engineer, or performance-focused developer, C++ can be extremely valuable. Number 5. PHP. Now, we are at the middle of our list. Number 5 is PHP. And yes, PHP is still alive. In fact, it is still extremely relevant to web development. PHP was designed specifically for server-side web development. It powers websites, web applications, content management systems, application programming interfaces, and backend platforms. One of PHP's biggest advantages is its enormous ecosystem. Modern frameworks have also made PHP development much more powerful. One great example: Laravel. Laravel provides developers with tools for authentication, database management, application programming interfaces, queues, background jobs, caching, and much more. PHP is also relatively easy to deploy on traditional web hosting. This makes it attractive for individuals, startups, agencies, and businesses that need reliable web applications. PHP is also closely connected with WordPress, one of the most widely used content management platforms on the web. If you are interested in web development, backend development, Laravel, WordPress, content management systems, or business applications, PHP remains a very practical technology. It may not always receive the same attention as Python or JavaScript, but its real-world usage is still significant. And that brings us to the end of the first part. So far, we have covered Go, Swift, Kotlin, C#, C++, and PHP. But the most interesting part of our list is still ahead. In part 2, we will look at Java, TypeScript, JavaScript, and finally, the number one programming language on our list. We will also answer the most important question: which programming language should you actually learn? Welcome back to part 2 of our countdown of the top 10 programming languages you should consider learning in 2020-6. In part 1, we covered Go, Swift, Kotlin, C#, C++, and PHP. Now let's continue with number 4. Number 4, Java. At number 4, we have Java. Java has been around for decades, and yet it continues to be one of the most important programming languages in the software industry. Java became popular because of a simple idea: write once, run anywhere. Java programs run on the Java virtual machine, allowing applications to operate across different environments. Java is heavily used in enterprise software, banking systems, large backend applications, financial technology, cloud applications, big data systems, and many other areas. One of Java's biggest advantages is its ecosystem. There are millions of developers who know Java, enormous numbers of libraries, frameworks, tools, and countless existing applications. That also means companies continue to need Java developers to maintain, improve, and modernize existing systems. Java is especially strong when building large applications that need to be reliable and maintainable over many years. Should beginners learn Java? Absolutely. Java can teach you strong programming fundamentals and object-oriented programming. It can also prepare you for many different areas of software development. But if your primary goal is artificial intelligence or data science, Python may be a better starting point. Number 3, TypeScript. Now, we are entering the top 3. At number 3 is TypeScript. This is one of the languages I believe every serious modern web developer should consider learning. TypeScript was created by Microsoft and builds on JavaScript by adding static typing and other development features. Why does that matter? Imagine you are building a massive application with hundreds of files and thousands of lines of code. Without strong typing, certain mistakes can be difficult to detect until the application is running. TypeScript can catch many problems while you are developing. That is one reason it has become extremely popular for large-scale applications. TypeScript is used with technologies such as React, Angular, Next.js, Node.js, and many other modern web technologies. It can be used across both front-end and back-end development. This means you can use one language and its ecosystem to build a large part of a complete web application. Another major advantage is MAAABILITY. As an application becomes larger and more complex, having clearly defined types can make the code easier for teams to understand and maintain. So who should learn TypeScript? If you are serious about becoming a modern full-stack developer, learn TypeScript. It can help you build applications that are easier to maintain, understand, and scale. Number 2, JavaScript. At number 2, JavaScript. JavaScript completely changed the web. Originally, websites were mostly static documents. JavaScript helped turn them into interactive applications. Today, JavaScript can be used for much more than front-end websites. You can use it to build front-end applications, back-end application programming interfaces, real-time applications, mobile applications, desktop applications, browser extensions, and much more. Frameworks and runtimes such as React, Node.js, Vue, and many others have created a massive ecosystem around JavaScript. And here is one of its biggest advantages: JavaScript runs in every modern web browser. If you want to become a web developer, JavaScript is extremely difficult to avoid. It is one of the fundamental technologies behind the modern web. And when you combine JavaScript with TypeScript, you get an especially powerful combination for modern software development. But JavaScript also has a downside. The ecosystem changes extremely quickly. New frameworks, libraries, tools, and development approaches appear all the time. That can be exciting, but it can also be overwhelming for beginners. So do not try to learn every JavaScript framework. Focus on the fundamentals first. Understand variables, functions, objects, arrays, asynchronous programming, the browser, and how JavaScript actually works. Once you understand those fundamentals, learning frameworks becomes much easier. And now, the moment we have been waiting for, the number one programming language on our list. Number 1, Python. Python has become one of the most versatile programming languages in the world. It is popular because it is relatively easy to read and has an enormous ecosystem. Python is used for artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, automation, web development, cybersecurity, scientific computing, education, and scripting. But one of the biggest reasons Python has become even more important is artificial intelligence. The growth of artificial intelligence has created enormous interest in Python. Many artificial intelligence and machine learning tools use Python as their primary programming language. Libraries and frameworks such as PyTorch, TensorFlow, NumPy, Pandas, and scikit-learn have helped create a huge Python ecosystem. And here is something important for beginners. You do not need to understand everything about programming before starting Python. Its syntax is relatively readable, which makes it a great language for learning programming fundamentals. Python also allows beginners to start building useful projects relatively quickly. You can create a simple automation script, analyze data, build a web application, or experiment with artificial intelligence without needing to understand extremely complex syntax. But should everyone learn Python? Not necessarily. If you want to become a professional front-end developer, JavaScript and TypeScript may be more important. If you want to build iPhone applications, learn Swift. If you want to build Android applications, consider Kotlin. If you want to develop games, C# or C++ could be better. But if you are interested in artificial intelligence, automation, data, or general programming, Python is an excellent choice. So now let's answer the biggest question. Which programming language should you learn? If you are a complete beginner, start with Python. It is relatively easy to understand and gives you a strong foundation in programming. If you want to become a web developer, learn JavaScript and then TypeScript. These languages can help you build modern front-end and back-end applications. If you want to become an artificial intelligence or machine learning developer, learn Python. Python is one of the most important languages in the artificial intelligence ecosystem. If you want to build Android applications, consider Kotlin. For iPhone and Apple development, learn Swift. For game development, consider C# or C++. For enterprise software, consider Java or C#. For cloud and high-performance backend systems, consider Go. And for PHP-based web development, PHP and Laravel remain a strong combination. But remember something very important: the programming language you choose is only the beginning. You do not become a great developer by memorizing syntax. You become a great developer by building things. Build websites. Build mobile applications. Build application programming interfaces. Build automation tools. Build artificial intelligence projects. Make mistakes. Fix them. And keep learning, because programming languages will change, frameworks will change, artificial intelligence will change the way we write software, but the ability to solve problems with technology will always be valuable. You do not need to learn 10 programming languages. You do not even need to learn 5. Choose one language that matches your goals. Learn the fundamentals, build real projects, then expand your skills when you are ready. The best programming language is not always the most popular language. It is the language that helps you solve the problems you want to solve. So, which programming language are you learning in 2026? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Compile Media, and turn on notifications for more programming, technology, and artificial intelligence content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.